Hello. So the fastest, most efficient way for me to think through some of these reflection questions is for me to just answer them and think out loud. So I'm going to read through them and answer them for you now. When did you feel most successful this year? I think I felt most successful this year. Um, it's a tough question. I haven't felt really successful this year. I think probably in these last few weeks, I've helped my 8th grade special education students master a lot of their IEP goals, and also created a classroom that was really focused on like self-regulation, formative assessment, and differentiated tasks. I wish there was a little bit more joy in it. I feel like it's just sort of like, let's get through it. Um, but I was implementing a lot of skills that I'd heard about through graduate school and through Teach for America, and it really did come to fruition a little bit. Other than that, as a co-teacher, I haven't felt super successful. So least successful, again, I tend to be pretty hard on myself, but I think I've been least successful with a lot of the change. I didn't feel super successful as a reading teacher in October, November, December. And then I didn't really feel successful in the switch in terms of working in Miss Franco's class and Miss Walsh's class. They're just sort of nuts, and I never really was able to, change the culture, classroom culture, and the management systems. Really take ownership over that. I felt more empowered when I was working with Michelle Caldwalder. She helped me feel pretty good, but more often than not, I have not felt very successful this year. Academically, I think my students have achieved moderate growth, not extreme growth. The tracking systems were a little bit off, and again, depends on who we're talking about in terms of my students. I think in terms of the special education students, they really did feel empowered by their growth in terms of their IP goal mastery, but those were sort of loose, not very rigorous goals. And I'm going to come back to you on that. Sorry, that was a quick interruption. How have your students grown? So I think they've grown academically moderately. I think personally I've really demonstrated or tried to demonstrate what respect is, what love is, and some of them have really felt a little bit empowered, like Ashley Anderson, who I played in the talent show with, and Sean and Shane. They're struggling students, and I hope that I've impacted them in a positive way. What do you hope to be true about your teaching practice next year? I just want to be an excellent teacher, and I haven't felt like an excellent teacher. I want to feel more in control over the outcomes of the classroom, and I haven't felt totally in control of that. And my plan for this summer is just to become a CMA and just learn as much as possible, and really just create just an awesome long-term plan for the school year. And an investment plan, and really like looking at Suleiman winners and trying to think about myself as one of those like one-day cover story teachers and just getting that done. Do I think it's possible to close the opportunity gap? Yes, I think it takes a tremendous amount of work. I think it takes some really special people. I think that people can do it on smaller levels. I think systemically, I don't know if we're there, but I know some brilliant people who are working on that very problem, and I think if we just keep working at it, it's our job too. It's our job to keep working at it, even if we're not sure if we actually can do it. I think we need to believe that we can for us to be really successful, but if you have the conviction or, the beliefs that I have and that I think a lot of us have, like, we have no other choice. We must keep working toward it. So based on what I've experienced in the last 12 to 24 months, we're now must be true about the way our alumni continue to work towards education. What are you convinced must be true about how I personally? So I think must be true for alumni is we need to just keep at it, either as teachers or with our connections to Teach for America. What do I think must be true about how I personally, Teach for America organizationally, proves respect? The core member experience is intense and it's tough, and I think that connecting alumni to new teachers is essential, making them feel welcome, making them feel less afraid. I just feel like it's such an isolating 2 years, at least in the first couple months, and you just need to feel like people have done it before me, people care about me, people support me, and other people are doing it here right now. And if alumni can sort of make those connections, I think that would be really helpful to the organization. So that might be through things like these fellowship groups, or like buddies. Like we have this sponsor teacher where the teachers write letters to these really rich people, and that is all right, but that's extra work for the core member. What we really need is like a sponsor teacher where like the alumni teachers really are supporting and sponsoring these new teachers. And you've got an MTLD, but maybe you've got somebody who doesn't have a whole caseload and can just sort of be your resource. Yeah, that's what I think we need to do. It's been an incredible experience. I don't know if I recommend it to everybody just because it's so challenging, and even at the end of my 2 years, I'm just really working hard right now, and so I'm a little wide-eyed and like recording this so I don't have to type it up, but it's also, I just want to be really honest, it's been a really challenging experience, but I'm going to continue teaching next year, and the reason is because I believe it's important, and I believe I'm here for a reason, and I believe that what we do matters, and I'm really hopeful for the educational opportunities of our students in the most under-resourced communities in our country, and also just across our country, because I really care about the country, but about the planet, and about just the state of human beings everywhere. So that's real, like, out there and optimistic, idealistic, but that's sort of who I am and what I'm doing here. Thanks.